Hi everyone, Jennifer here. Today we're going to be doing a reader questions answered, and I have a lot of questions to get through, so let's get started. Before we begin though, I wanted to say I am in fall 10-item wardrobe today. You are going to see that video very shortly, so stay tuned for that. And I'm wearing a sweater from my extras, navy blue sweater from Bowden, and this necklace from Bauble Bar, because I know that some people are going to ask that question. So I wanted to say thank you so much for your amazing response to my piano performance that I had for you about a week and a half ago. I'm blown away. I can't believe how many people enjoyed it. So that was really great. I would love for you, if you play the piano or an instrument or something like that, to put it up on YouTube and let me know. Use the hashtag Madame Chic so that we can find you. And I'd love to see your performances as well. So thanks so much for your support with all of that. Okay, so let's get into some reader questions. This one is from Elizabeth Enzer, and she's Lizzie Loves Health. She has a blog, and she's on Instagram, and I just want to say, Elizabeth, that I appreciate you so much. She is always talking about my blog and the books and everything to her readers, and I just really appreciate that support, so thank you. Her question is this. She says, I feel like my personal style is changing and it's a bit uncomfortable. I used to always gravitate to bold patterns, bright colors, and mix and match. I just turned 34 and I feel myself drawn toward lots of white, simple Parisian stripes and more basics for my busy life. She's a homeschooling mom of 2 boys. So do you have any thoughts or insights on changing styles within your closet? A lot of people go through this, and one of the funny things about the 10-item wardrobe is that as you go through it, so many people will realize that they have not been wearing their true style or what makes them comfortable, or they will refine their style so much and realize that they really need to go into a different direction the next time they're shopping. So this will happen, and you might, if you have been unsatisfied with your wardrobe, it could be that you are wearing clothes that are not your true style. So here's what I recommend. Most people do not have it in their budget when they realize that they are a certain style or they need a style to just go out and buy a whole new wardrobe in that style. And that's not really realistic. So what I recommend is, the next time you have a hole in your wardrobe and you need to fill it with a new outfit, a new dress, or whatever it is, go wholeheartedly for that new style that you really feel that you are, and slowly start to fill your wardrobe with these basics, these examples that reflect your true style. So Lizzie, if you used to wear, really bold patterns, and now you like, more minimalist, then that's where you're going to be headed in the future. So just start there, and you have to be patient, and it takes time. So you're not going to just immediately fill your closet with all of this stuff. See how you can rework what you already have to reflect your new style. So let's say you have a really bold dress, but that's just not you anymore. Maybe you could put a sweater in a solid color over the top with a belt to tone down the wild print. But just go slow as you go shopping, as you fill the holes that are in your wardrobe. Go ahead and inject what your true style really is. And I hope that helps. Have fun with it. Okay, Anna C. writes, one question I have is about what to do for cold weather. I live in Philadelphia and I always struggle to dress nicely when it gets cold. All I want to wear on a morning is a fleece and warm sweatpants. I've loved wearing more skirts and dresses, but do you have recommendations on how to dress nicely when it's really cold out? Do you recommend having more than 10 items so you can layer in the fall and winter? Okay, so Anna, I get this question a lot, and obviously I live in California. It's not really that cold here. So people always say, oh, the 10-item wardrobe only works in California or warm climates, and that is not true. First of all, when I lived in Paris, one of my big complaints about it was that it was freezing for me for probably 4 of the months that I was there. It was so cold. I mean, very biting cold. It even snowed a few times. Now, it's not heavy snow, so I did not have to deal with that. But what I observed from Madame Chic was so interesting. the fact that, because I had your mentality too, I thought, oh, when it's really cold outside, that's when you wear your sweatpants. That is when you just, who cares? You'd have a giant coat on over it. But she would maintain her really nice dress sense in this cold weather. That was just how it was. And she always wore skirts or dresses, but mainly skirts. So in the cold weather, she would wear her A-line skirt, usually in a heavy, thick wool or tweed. She always wore stockings, always. She always had her legs covered with stockings. And she would have her nice leather shoes, and then she would layer. So she would have a blouse and a sweater, and she'd have her pearls, and she would wear a coat depending on how cold it was. So she had a quilted coat that was for brisk days, and she had a heavy coat that was for really cold days, and a scarf. So this seems obvious, but it is all about layering. And if you like wearing dresses, you can have dresses, really thick tights on. If you're wearing rain boots or heavy boots that you need to wear in the weather, you can have really thick socks on under those boots. Layers, you could have a sweater over your dress, and you could have on top of that a heavy coat and a scarf and a hat. These layers. But still, when you come inside a building and you take off your coat and your scarf, you have a beautiful outfit, because the buildings are typically warm, and that's the problem. That's why you have to layer. And I remember that walking to school in Paris, and it was just so cold. And then I would go into the classroom and it was warm, so I would be so hot. So layering is crucial. And I feel like sweats, of course they're comfortable, but so are thick leggings or tights and a dress. It's just a matter of changing your mindset about it. It can be done. It is done in cold weather. Now, you will probably have to have more in your extras. I suggest putting sweaters and cardigans and layering pieces in your extras. You might have to have more coats than the average person. It's just about not going crazy with that, and just, really having a capsule wardrobe that works for you. Warm gloves, scarves, hats in colors that will go with everything that you already have. So it's about layering, and I hope that this works for you, and get back in touch with me and let me know how this winter goes for you. Serene writes, "Hi Jennifer, I'm 25 years old and I've been so inspired by you and Madame Chic. I wanted to ask you for some advice. I've had a rough month. I've been job hunting and nothing seems to be working out. I find myself losing my cool with family and friends, and I just feel down and out. I finished my master's degree and now feel very self-conscious about everything. I have a what do I do now mentality. How would you and Madame Chic handle a situation like this?" Oh, Serene, I really feel for you, and I actually know exactly where you are. I really do, because I remember graduating from college and having this degree and all this student loan debt and everything, and looking for a job, and I couldn't even get a hosting job at a restaurant. I remember I was trying to find a job, and I would go to all of these places, restaurants, and for a hostess position, because I never had waitressing experience. And I just kept getting turned down because I didn't have experience as a hostess or in a restaurant. And I vividly remember sitting in my car at the top of a parking structure in Santa Monica, just bawling my eyes out because I felt so lost, and I felt hopeless, and I felt I couldn't get a job, and I needed more money. So I know exactly where you are, and it can be scary. And I know that a lot of kids graduating from college now have that. They don't know, they have a job uncertainty. So here's my advice to you, because obviously it worked out for me in a really great way, and I love my job now, and I'm doing what I love to do, which is what everybody wants in their life. My advice to you is, it's okay when you feel sad, to let it out. For example, when I was crying in my car, I will never forget that. It was very, hard. Also, I would not be above doing certain jobs. So, a lot of people graduate from college and they think they immediately need to go into the field. Obviously, that would be ideal. But if you need money, if you need to pay off your loans, just to sort of humble yourself and just work to start making money. And while you're at whatever job that is, you can work toward what it is that you want to do. So, for example, when I was in my 20s, I had 3 jobs at the same time, okay? And only one of them was something I wanted to do. It was in the theater, so I was teaching theater for children, and the other 2 were sort of office administrative type jobs. And so I did these jobs at the same time, and I was just working like a maniac, but I was making money, and that's the important thing. So you might not be in the field that you want, but you never know where each job and opportunity will take you. My advice is whatever you do end up doing, give it your absolute all. I will talk about this in a future video. So even if you're a waitress, but you want to be doing, marketing in a big firm, give that waitressing job your all. You never know where it will lead to, okay? Be patient with yourself. If you notice that you're losing your cool with your family and friends, that is a sign that something is wrong. So just take a step back and just really reevaluate what you're going to do, okay? Don't lose heart. You will eventually get the job that is right for you. The cream always rises to the top, and I know that my viewers and my readers are the cream of the crop because you are all self-aware people. You want to better yourselves, and that is really important today in a world where most people do not think about that. Okay, so I just want to give you the encouragement. Only God knows what is in store for you, and I certainly don't know that, but I just know, just keep the faith. Keep the faith. Pause when you're agitated with your friends and family. Breathe. Whatever you do, put your heart and soul into it and be positive about it, and be grateful for whatever job that you can get at this point. It will all lead to good things. And my last piece of advice is whatever you are passionate about, work toward that. So for example, I wanted to be a writer. So I took a writing class and I would write at night, This is very important. So don't lose your passion as well. I hope that helps. And thank you for your question. Okay, the final question comes from Lisa K, and she's from Germany, and she actually sends 2 questions, so I'm going to answer both of them. She says, my first question is, do you have a tip for chic shoes to wear at home? Shoes are oh so important for every outfit, and I don't want to ruin every outfit the minute I enter my home by wearing Crocs. I don't know if she meant to say Crocs there. I don't want to sound superficial, I'm just taking my home life seriously. What do you think? Okay, this is another question that I get a lot. And a lot of people follow the Fly Lady blog, and she suggests that women get dressed to shoes so that you wear your shoes inside your home. And that works for some people. It doesn't work for others. So what I do is I do wear slippers inside the house, during the day as well. And I don't mind that look. I mean, I think if you were a purist, you could probably just wear a purist Madame Chic. You could probably wear your shoes all day. But most shoe brands do have a flat shoe that is chic. It could go with anything. Like if you had a pair of black ballet flats in your house, that you could keep those as your house shoes, for example. And those would pretty much probably go with any outfit that you have. So you don't have to have this beautiful outfit and then these, hideous slippers that go with it. So it's really up to you. You have to be comfortable and cover and protect your feet so they don't get hard calluses. But at the same time, obviously, you want to, make your outfit look good from head to toe. So I would recommend ballet flats or another flat shoe, a sandal that is very comfortable that you keep exclusively for the home. Okay, so the second question she said is about children and snacking. And she said, when I was a child and said to my mother that I'm hungry, she would answer, perfect, sweetie, we're having lunch in half an hour. And today it's always nibbling and snacking everywhere I look. At the playground, in the stroller, at the bus stop. I want my children to be hungry when they have their meals, but it seems like every other mother in town tries to boycott that. They have so much to eat for their children with them. Okay, so she's grappling with this. With children and snacks, basically. And I noticed the same thing. If you read Bringing Up Bebe by Pamela Druckerman, she has some really great advice for it. And it's true. In France, the children are not going to be going around with so many snacks throughout the day. And in America, it is just prevalent. Everywhere you go, all day long, kids are snacking on crackers and carrot sticks and things. So I am very much so on the French philosophy with this one. My children, I give them snacks. And absolutely, when they get home from school, for example, they have a snack, and they usually have one right before bedtime because we eat a really early dinner. We eat at 5 o'clock. So they do eat a late night snack before bed. So they have snacks, but when it's near a meal time, for example, let's say dinner is in a half an hour, and they ask for a snack, I always say no. I always say, I'm sorry, dinner's in a half an hour, so you have to wait. And sometimes they get really mad, but it's worth them waiting, because if I give them a snack a half an hour before dinner, they're not going to eat the healthy dinner I've prepared for them, the vegetables and the meat and whatever else it is that I've prepared. So I am very strict with that. I want them to eat real food, not snack food all day long. So, everybody has their own take on this, and I do recommend that you read Bringing Up Bebe by Pamela Druckerman, because she talks about this really well. And those are my thoughts. It's important not only for children, but for adults to actually get acquainted with the feeling of hunger. We can't, every time our stomach feels hungry, if we just immediately snack to get rid of that feeling, then we don't build up a healthy appetite for the important meals of the day. Before we close, I just wanted to show you this pretty bouquet because you can't see it in the video. These are the St. Patrick rose from our garden. This is my husband's favorite rose. He loves yellow roses. And I paired this bouquet with some pretty lavender and this purple flower, which I actually don't know the name of, but I just thought it was a really beautiful bouquet. So there you go. We will close with that. And thank you for joining me on the Daily Connoisseur. Make sure you pre-order my new book, Polish Your Poise with Madame Chic. It comes out on October 27th of this year. I'm so excited for you to read it. All right, I will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.